Welcome to the Legacy Community Podcast. My guests today are DeAnn and Morgan from New Freedom Center. How are you guys?
Good. New Freedom Family Center.
The New Freedom Family Center.
Yes.
Okay, let's get that right. Sure.
Yes, two different agencies, sister agencies, but two different.
Okay, so let's talk about the New Freedom Family Center then. What do you guys want to share about that?
So New Freedom Family Center is a place for women to go who they can bring their kids into treatment with them. So they can reside with their kids, which is kind of a new concept here in Bismarck. And it's been amazing. I don't know what else. Do you want to add to that, Morgan?
Yeah, on top of it being women and children, it's all women right now. I know a lot of people ask us too if there's going to ever be men, because we know that there's dads out there too that have custody of their kids and things like that. And so down the line, I think that's going to be a goal for us. We don't know what that will look like. But yes, all women, and we've already had 2 successful completions, which has been awesome. And both of them had their children about halfway through and then through the duration of their stay. So those were kind of our first 2 clients and trials and errors and figuring things out. So it's kind of exciting. It's a new thing.
So you guys were the recipients of the Legacy United Church's impact offering last month.
Yes,
And
that was amazing.
Right, so the church felt that was important, and we were able to do some research ourselves, and Connor and I talked about you guys, and that's why you're here today. We really want to talk about your services. So, correct me if I'm wrong here, but in many cases, with your guys, what you're dealing with, let's say the mothers and the children, you could be dealing with a situation where a mother could lose her child if she is not able to get help, or worse, right?
We are dealing with mothers that have lost their children into the system.
Right, sure. And they're, because of their struggles with addiction, right?
Yep.
Let's be clear, right?
Yep.
We're talking about addiction, which is anything, right? They just have lost their way, and you guys offer a facility for them to come and to get well. And so, in part of that, first of all, why did you get started with this? You want to go a little bit more in depth? It's because of those families, but you had mentioned men as well. So that's the part that sets you apart from the rest, really, because there's no other agency that's doing this, right?
I think there is.
It might not. I think they're
Providence
just
House,
opened.
maybe,
Okay.
and I think they opened around the same time, if not
Yeah.
right before us, maybe, but
Yeah.
that are offering offering the same services and trying to have the women and children aspect.
Okay, so you have a mother. Let's say, for example, DeAnn, that in one mother's particular case, she's coming in with her child. And what does that look like? In her care with the child there. Is the child got to be of a certain age, or could they be too old to be in there with mom? Or can you explain a little bit of that to us?
Well, right now we're focusing on that 0 to 5, just because we don't know what adding some of those teenage elements could look like, or the school age. We're working out transportation kinks of getting kids to school. So right now we're just focusing on that, preschool population.
Okay.
Yeah. And what was the rest of the question?
I can add on to it too.
Yeah.
Well,
Morgan's good.
so in the treatment facility, a mother must have, there's some requirements, right, for her to classes or counseling or therapies, whatever those things are.
Yeah, I know where I was now.
Okay, sure, yeah.
Take it over.
Yeah, so every morning they'll wake up at a set time. They'll have to go down, eat breakfast, get their kids breakfast. We're working on scheduling with them, like time management skills. So they have to feed their kids, get them ready, and then they take them up to our 4th floor where we have our daycare.
Okay.
So we just got that piece hired for. So we have Alicia, and she's been amazing. But yeah, so they'll take their kids to daycare and then go to classes during the day.
Very good.
Yep.
Wow.
And they're inpatient residential. So
Yep.
they're doing treatment in the morning till mid-afternoon and having structured stuff with that. The other cool thing that I wanted to add on that too is that we are adding in parenting stuff. So we have an actual gal coming from the community that has kind of partnered with us and comes every Wednesday and does a parenting class with those women and talks about different life skills or just some of the basics sometimes of mothering and some of the things that maybe they didn't get in their upbringing and learning some of those skills that they can make applicable to their family. So just some of the components to treatment are kind of exciting too, that maybe a lot of moms we've had before, DeAnn and I worked together before, and they didn't get, a lot of times court would require some of those things like a parenting class or a different type of course, and they would have to go to an external agency to get that. And the cool part of being here is they have that kind of enveloped in that, and we have a bunch of other kind of little services that we offer to in the building for them to get like right there all in one spot.
Wow, it sounds absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And again, that's why you're here today, because we are hoping, we are hopeful that these will fall in the ears that need to hear
Sure.
what you guys are offering for services, right? We do our own recovery group here on Saturday nights, and hopefully we'll be able to maybe get some information from you guys to leave for them as well, because so many people are struggling. Addiction is real, right?
Yep.
So what about, we've talked a little bit about a day in the life for an individual and a mother, right? And the kids and what you're doing with those kids, 0 to 5 group. Are there any impact stories you'd like to share? Maybe how lives are impacted by your services. What happens, maybe not so much during, because you kind of covered that, but maybe afterwards, when someone's leaving that facility, are there any other services that they continue to receive? So, or again, impact stories.
Yeah, like we've only had, 2 girls graduate. When you think of impact story, though, one client comes to mind specifically because I went and picked her and her newborn baby up from the hospital.
Oh.
Well, she came to the center first, and then we went and got baby together. But, newborn.
We have a brand newborn. Yeah. A brand new baby there with us that we all get to love on.
So
Okay.
then that was pretty amazing for her to have a safe place to go.
Right, because again, if a mother is struggling and she's in active addiction, right? You give that baby away, lose the baby, either continue on that same path of addiction and destruction, right?
Right.
Or, hey, what can I do? Well, here we are, New Freedom Family Center, right? Let's get you enrolled. Let's get you into the program, right? With the new baby. So that is pretty impactful, right?
Right. And I don't know specifically, but with like her case too, I don't know if she would have gotten the baby in custody if she didn't come to us. So,
Right.
It was kind of made a stipulation that
Yep.
if she's going to be in this safe place under supervision and be able to have access to the things that she needs, that was kind of their piece with that too. And I think also with that person too that we're speaking on, I don't know where she was really at with even keeping this baby. And so this was kind of a really big turning point. And then her decision to come in there and have that baby, now the tables have turned, and she's just thriving and getting all the help from other women that are in there, us. And so she hasn't been there super long yet, but she's about a third of the way through, and she's just doing really good.
So you mentioned that you've had 2 prior to that mother, right? Is that correct?
Well, we've had 2 successful completions of treatment there.
Okay. And how long are those? Do those span out to?
We really we want our treatment program to be a little bit longer, because obviously we're dealing with an addiction no matter what. I think residential treatment has always kind of fallen a little bit short with the timeline. It's expensive, obviously, and insurance is part of that. But so a lot of times you see treatment centers that are like 28 to 30 days.
Right.
So ours was like, we want to be at least a minimum of 45. And if not, and we're pushing beyond that and trying to get to that 60-day mark, we're going to try and do that, because we know that the reunification of family and the things that we're working on doesn't just come in 28 to 30 days. So those 2 women that did graduate both did complete 45-day treatment stays. And both of them ideally had a safe place to go when they left. So both of them came from homes or an apartment that they had that they were transitioning back into. So if they hadn't had that, those might have been people that we were attempting to keep longer and try to have more closer to that 60-day mark to try to get a better successful discharge plan set up before they walk out the door.
Yeah, a longer treatment obviously is going to give more tools to your clients. The folks in the treatment center.
Yep.
Have you found yourself part of the court systems yet? I mean, let's say a mom says, "I need help," and she's been accepted through you guys, and maybe you can talk a little bit about what it takes to be accepted. But what if a mother says, "I've got some court dates coming up"?
Yeah, all
And
the time.
right.
Most
So
of them.
Probably 85% of them have that.
right, exactly right. So right, because again, this is to benefit our listeners, right? These are to benefit the mothers and the children that don't know what to do, that are just at the end and they don't have any choices. They feel they don't have any choices. The court's coming up, all this stuff. What do you guys do with those court dates?
Well, first we look at what's kind of upcoming, what courts they have cases open in, and like I'll send letters to the court just stating, hey, they've entered treatment on this day. This is what they're doing. And I kind of want to give a shout out to Judge Harris, who is Bismarck Municipal Court.
Yeah.
She has been amazing to work with, and she's kind of inviting community members from like West Central and New Freedom Family Center and Sober Livings to come in Mondays and Wednesday mornings and to sit in the back.
Oh, wow.
And so when they're coming up on some jail time, she's like, well, instead of jail time, do you want to go to talk to West Central in the back, or New Freedom Family Center is in the back? Why don't you go speak to them? So it's really encouraging people to seek out services instead of that jail time.
So what is that judge's name again? Harris? you
Yeah,
said?
Judge Amanda Harris.
Judge Amanda Harris. So she's seeing, she is, well, I don't want to say she's breaking the rules, but what she's doing is she's extending out that grace, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amplifying up what options you have.
Right,
Not
and
just
trying to
this or that.
solve-
Yeah.
Right, because we hear
Issue.
so many times that jail or prison or any of these things, there is no rehabilitation, right? And that's the sad reality, right? And so to have you folks to be able to offer this unique services is absolutely amazing. And you've had a couple success stories already.
Yep. So far, so good.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're pretty recently out, but yeah, they're doing well.
We've talked to both of them, and they're doing good.
So okay, so there's a mother right now, and she's listening to the program, and she's okay. How do I get this started? How do they get it started? I mean, if they're not in front of that judge yet, right? Because if they're in
Yep.
front of the judge, obviously they want to be in front of Judge Harris for one thing, right?
Yeah,
So-
request that.
Right, request that, right? And here's what I can do. But how do they get started? They're listening right now. Okay, what's my first step? What is their first step?
Call Cynthia.
Yep. Call, Cynthia's our intake coordinator, and
Oh.
she'll do an intake right over the phone.
Okay.
So-
So at the new Freedom Family Center.
Yep.
Right. And so, any phone number you want to share?
Yeah. Shout it out.
701-751-7233. And the last four are safe.
Yeah,
So
751.
751 safe.
751 SAFE. 701-751 SAFE.
Yep.
For the new Freedom Family Center.
Yep.
Yeah. Give
Yeah.
you guys a call and you get them started
Yep.
on their journey of recovery.
They can also go online to, is it New Freedom Family Center or
Well,
is it New
it's
Freedom?
New Freedom Center, but like there's a tab on there for New Freedom Family Center, and they can write us just a contact form on there, and it will go directly to our
If
program
they're a little
director.
shy with calling and want to fill out why they're seeking services, and then we can call them because they usually leave a name and a phone number. So we've had multiple people apply that way, and we've called and had them get into services that way too.
Let's mention that address again.
I think it's newfreedomcenter.org,
Yes.
and then they would find the New Freedom Family Center tab, and they
Okay.
could contact us. through that.
newfreedomcenter.org, and then just follow it along. Look for the New Freedom Family Center.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, because you mentioned a great point, Morgan, that a lot of people find it hard to make that call.
It's hard to call,
It's-
yeah.
It's hard to call.
It's hard to
Listen,
call.
I'm struggling. I need help. But if we have that option of those folks knowing that internet application,
Yep.
then it's going to make things so much easier
I
for
think
them.
those get pinned to 3 different emails at New Freedom Center and 2 of ours. So we all are able to see those and staff which center they're needing to go to or which ones they're appropriate for. So it's kind of cool.
This is absolutely amazing. I'm so happy to hear this.
Yeah.
Because we all have someone or know of someone
Yep.
in our lives or our friends' lives that have people that are struggling, right?
Right.
And gosh, if they only had that, right? How can the community get involved with your mission? I mean, what kind of help do you need to continue to have this continue on?
I mean, we've had a lot of generous donations from members of the community. We also have an Amazon wish list
Okay.
that we do have up. We haven't checked it in a while, I don't think, or
It's on our Facebook page too. So if anybody's on Facebook, they can go to New Freedom Family Center and the Facebook page. And so a lot of times we're updating. Obviously, we shared too that we were the recipient of that. So deciding where some of that funding will go. But that wish list is on there. We could probably reshare it actually soon just because we haven't more than once.
So again, it's New Freedom Family Center Facebook.
Yep.
And so the wish list means things for
the center.
the center, right?
That we need, such as childcare, like our childcare space and stuff, and getting that up and going.
Sure.
I know just having some of those diapers, because a lot of moms come in and they don't have diapers with them.
Right.
And so having that stuff on hand in the meantime while they get settled in is fantastic.
Well, and it helps a lot too, just because
Hygiene,
Yeah.
hygienic stuff,
Yes.
toiletries, all those things. You need all those things,
Yeah.
shampoos or whatever it is.
Yep. And
Yeah.
we don't, and right now we take those women, and those women are the women that we are serving in that facility. And if those kids come in right now, we don't have funding for that right now, but we're still doing it because we know that there's a need for it. And so we don't have, funding coming in right now that's serving those kids. And so
Okay.
that's just an extra expense that we're also footing to make sure that those women and kids get the services that they need. And so hopefully
Right.
down the road, we're hopeful, and we've kind of put that out there and thrown that up to the big man. Like, something will happen at some point, I think, down the road, and money will happen. But in the meantime, we knew that it was something that just needed to still get followed through with. And so that wish list helps a lot of that stuff that is just extra funding that we, maybe have to foot ourselves. And yeah.
Well, again, you guys know we're faith-based and we're a branch off of Legacy United Methodist Church, right? And so that's why we're here. We're going to pray at the end here, of course, and we're going to give it all up to God and His will be done on this wonderful, unique service that you guys are offering this community.
Yeah.
Because He created all of us, and so He loved us first, right? John 1:9. Looking ahead, what are some of the goals New Freedom Family Center is seeking to achieve for the upcoming year and beyond?
Well, I think one of the biggest ones was getting just our child care piece up and very functional. So when we opened, we were serving women. We didn't have kids right out the gate just because we wanted to make sure we didn't make mistakes. We wanted to make sure we had the right person for that, the right area, the right space, and the right routine for all of that stuff. And that's finally kind of coming to fruition. And so I think we're kind of easing into who will start coming in with those kids and what that will look like for a full day of the childcare piece. And I think that's one of the biggest ones.
I think, too, another thing that we would love to see is sober living up on, the 4th floor of our hotel.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
People could transition out of
We
treatment.
need more
and
sober
into-
living
Yeah.
in our community. There's
Sure.
not enough.
No.
How many rooms are available for the inpatient treatment, or like you said, the 4th floor? I mean, you have a certain amount of rooms where you house your clients.
Right. We can only have 16 per Medicaid guidelines. So,
Oh,
we
okay.
can't go above that. And that's kind of something that we're,
That's a good size.
It's a very decent size.
Sure.
But, I've even seen some comments on Facebook. They're like, you have that many rooms and you're only going to serve 16 people. And it's like, well, we're kind of capped at that per
That doesn't
policies.
mean-
that
Sure,
don't-
and some of those rooms, again, you have daycare, and you have
Daycare.
the other rooms for your counseling and therapy sessions and all that.
offices and-
Yeah, well, what about expanding that child care program, which you mentioned, but adding more family-focused therapy services? I had read that in some of your notes. I mean, that's got to be one of your focuses as well, right? To bring the whole family in, right? Even if it's, you're 0 to 5, whatever your 5-year-old kid, are there some of those counselings and therapies where you're helping that mother learn how to be a mother, a better mother, right? And so
Yeah.
you have those family-focused therapies as well, right?
Yes. So outside of the parenting stuff, I think too a goal would be in the future too, as we grow and we just expand, maybe that we'd have somebody that's actually dedicated to even do some of those family sessions where, I'm doing some of the main treatment during the day, and maybe those extra family sessions above and beyond that are able to come in there. Because right now it's me, so it's a lot. I mean, it's a lot even with 12 people. We have 12 people right now.
Okay.
And so even that's a pretty full house, and 1-to-1, one case manager and one counselor, and we're doing it. But it would be nice in the future if we grow to be able to even just hire more people in those areas and do some more of that actual family stuff when those families are healthy and ready to actually do those. But those are offered obviously as part of treatment, and so yeah.
Well, you mentioned hiring. What about volunteering?
Yeah.
What if someone's out there and says, I want to give back. I'm retired now. I've got some time to give, and I would really like to help our community. Because you guys know we've got a wonderful growing community in volunteer and services, right? It's absolutely amazing when I look at it today from what was available, when I was in my 20s 40 years ago, right? And so volunteers, I mean, you'd be happy to have them, right?
Sure. Yeah. I know that we've had multiple volunteers kind of within the staff families. So, younger kids and stuff like that are in their middle to late teens help us out with we have a clothing closet that we've created in one of those rooms too. So a bunch of just clothing donations. And so we've had someone sort all of that and do that by sizes and have baby clothes and get those things kind of organized. That's always a mess. I mean, we just have people come in. Some people come in with nothing, and so they're going through all of that stuff, and it just needs reorganizing. So I know we've used people for that. I feel like down the road, maybe we'd utilize volunteers for, I don't know, outings or different things like that, just because we're kind of figuring out all of those kinks right now, just with the staff that we currently have. And
so do you list that on your Facebook page? That volunteers?
We haven't.
We haven't, but it could definitely be something.
Idea.
Yeah.
That's a very good
Well,
idea.
I mean, let's not forget. I mean, because you see all these wonderful organizations in town, the food pantries, different things. These people come out. Our community comes out. It's just a beautiful thing to watch. People want to help people. Following in that faith-based services of Christ, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we definitely want to get that information out there. What about a closing message for our community regarding your services? I mean, we've covered a few things, but is there anything more you want to add or share?
Well, the only other thing I would add, and I guess I always talk to the treatment side of things because that's where I'm lumped into, but the other thing that we're really trying to do at the center is trauma-informed care and focusing on that within the treatment. And so some of the ways that we're teaching some of our classes and going through programming and stuff, DeAnn does some of that with me. And so some seeking safety and some of those different types of things. And then we also have a behavioral health gal that we've contracted with, Jerry Wolf. And so she's also has her own practice and kind of helps us out with seeing people right there on site, which is really cool. So they can kind of get their needs met in the mental health department. They can get some of their needs met in the medical department with a primary that comes a couple days per week also from the community.
Oh, very good.
So, I mean, they can kind of just get those services grabbed while they're there. And I think the biggest thing with that is because when you have the kid piece and maybe they don't have that transportation stuff set up yet, that's huge to be able to get to those appointments or to get to your mental health or to get to your therapies, whether it's you or for your kid. And so for those to kind of be accessible on site, maybe if they're only limited days, that's another thing that we're really trying to make sure that we keep and we get those women connected with, just because we know that all of those services are just so necessary.
Absolutely.
And sometimes the transportation to them or the time out of the day to get there makes it hard, but if it's right there on site, they're not really missing that much treatment to get to those, and we're able to sometimes make them right at the end of the day, which is also very, very cool. So that's one of my favorite things about the center is, and I've heard a couple women even share that too, that everything's just here. They still want to obviously get out. You don't want to just be stuck in one place the whole time, but to have all those things is just really amazing.
That brings up another thought while we're closing out. What does it look like for a mother after her 45 days or her extended time? Are those services that are coming in maybe to help with housing? Are there any of those agencies coming in? They're asking you, well, now what do I do? Where do I go next? I have nothing for housing. Am I just walking out the door and I'm gone? I mean, where do I go? So are some of those people coming in? West Central's coming in, different housing agencies coming in? You're not at that point yet?
I am helping people apply for those.
Okay.
Housing applications, sober living applications.
Okay.
So we get the ball rolling as soon as we can, because, I mean, even
because that transition's coming, right?
well,
So
right, and there's not enough help for housing in the area. There unfortunately is not. ND rent help no longer.
So there's a line with county housing, right? Is that what it is?
There's just so many people in need that wait lists and getting people housing in 45 days even sometimes seems just a big hurdle.
Sure. So at least, DeAnn, you guys are getting the application started. You're right there to apply for it. So again, with the listener right now, she doesn't know what to do, her child, whatever the case, she knows that you could help start that application going for housing.
Yeah, and that's why, hopefully down the road we do have sober living up on the 4th floor, so they could just move up to 4th and continue on with outpatient treatment. That would be the goal.
Well, let's continue to get the word out, right? And so, because again, I mentioned, not only services are needed for clients, but there are services needed for volunteers to bring more information and resources in, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to do what we can do for you with this podcast being aired, and we'll continue to mention again before we leave about the Facebook page and the numbers. And so if you guys
Yeah.
want to go on and share those one more time.
And also, I just want to say for volunteers too, anybody in recovery that wants to come in and tell their story, I mean, those are so impactful. So come in and share your story with these women because they love to hear what people have done to overcome
Yeah.
their addictions and their struggles and how they made it through. So
Oh,
if
yeah,
any,
absolutely.
yeah.
Sure. Well, let me just stop you for a second there, because we are definitely extending an invite right now, right here, for if you want to partner up with us and have a couple different Saturdays with us at 5:30. You know, you talk with myself or Jasmine Massengill, who runs the Renew support group. We'll bring you in, and hey, New Freedom Center is speaking this weekend. Here's a couple people that want to talk about their experience there, their successes there, what to expect. We certainly open the doors for you guys to share that stage and get the word out.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, so we'll make that promise to you right now that we'll do that. Okay, so anything else?
I don't think,
Nope. Check out our Facebook page, New Freedom Family Center, newfreedomcenter.org.
I think ours .com.
Yeah. We're not. We,
.org or .com?
Yeah.
.org or
One or the
.com.
other.
You will find it in one of those, and then you can
Google it.
fill out the online application and submit what you are looking for, and to be able to communicate with us that way. Or you can contact us over the phone, 701-751-7233.
Well, it's all fantastic information. Legacy Community Talk Podcast is happy to partner up with you guys and help deliver the messages of your services. So please continue to keep us posted. I want to thank you both for coming on today. And with us, of course, being a faith-based podcast ministry, it's appropriate for us to give all glory to God for the Christ-like work you are doing in our community by helping others. We would like to close with a prayer for you, okay, with you. So Heavenly Father, we lift our hearts in gratitude for the spirit of compassion that moves us to help one another. We thank you for the kindness of our friends, for New Freedom Center, New Freedom Family Center, and strangers alike, for those who volunteer their time and for the generosity of those who offer support. Lord, you have heard our discussion, and we now ask that you send the people who will help New Freedom Center, New Freedom Family Center, with what they need to do so that they may continue to help people during their struggles. We pray for complete restoration and healing for the folks requiring treatment, counseling, and facility services. In Jesus' precious name, amen.
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 Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.